Hey, welcome to Gary Brown Forging On. This is a little different kind of video. It's about pancake making. Started this probably, I don't know, close to 15 years ago maybe for my daughters, my wife, and they were real little, and we was making pancakes, and I started making different shaped pancakes. So the pancakes, nothing's really special about them, other than they're made from Bisquick. Been doing Bisquick ever since I started. And I usually do a double batch at least, which a batch of Bisquick pancake recipe is just 2 cups of Bisquick, 2 eggs, and 1 cup of milk. And so I'll just double that up. And then I mix it and put it in blend, put it in the mixer or mix it by hand, doesn't matter. And I sit there and go through and started out just making little circles, just like little nickel-sized circles, and I'd flip them all, and they'd be like bite-sized for the girls. Anyway, I learned from that, and so I was going to make this video, and I was just going to have me not talking. I was just going to just have a little background music or something, showing a few pancakes that I make, trying to teach people how to make, little fun animal shapes for your kids or your grown-ups too. And as was my plan, and I already filmed this, like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 different pancakes I made out of, I don't know how many I made. My girls used to try to stump me. Now they actually they'll pick themes, and they may make, marine, aquatic, or whatever, mammals or something. They'll pick a theme and just make all the pancakes in that theme, or insects or dinosaurs or whatever they want to do. So anyway, I was just going to do it all silent, and I was just going to type on the side kind of as I went. And I realized, it's less than a minute making each of the pancakes, and I didn't have enough room to type anything. So I thought I'd just do this little quick intro, just throw a bunch of stuff out there, save a lot of typing and reading on the screen. And so basically what it is, you mix the whole deal with the pancakes is, if you want a smooth, clean surface, you can use cast iron, regular griddle, anything you want. I happen to have, Teflon coated type stuff. And you get it hot enough, you don't even have to put oil if it's fairly new. But if you put oil in them, put your one pancake down first just to soak up the oil, because it'll get all these little white lines in there from the oil mixture. And you want all that kind of absorbed off, and don't put any more oil on after that. And so then when you pour a pancake, it's just all one solid brown color underneath. And so then you have to start thinking, I have to try to remember, maybe I could put it down below if I can remember the name of it. There's a type of artwork that is, they do on glass, and they do it backwards. So they'll paint whatever's the closest to you first, and then put everything in layers behind it. So when you flip it over, it looks like where you want it to look. And that's kind of what you do with these pancakes. You put things down, whatever you want to show on top, you put it down first, and you let it sit. And 1, it gets browner than the rest of the pancake. And 2, if it browns and then you pour around it, it'll put a white line. So if you got like a circle for an eye, it'll put a white line bordering it. And so that's the whole premise. And then what I do is just kind of controlled dripping and pouring. You want to get your batter not so thick that it clumps out, and you don't want it so thick that it's runny. If you get it thin, especially with Bisquick, I don't know about other batters, but if you get it with Bisquick and get it thin, just let it sit a while, and maybe 10-15 minutes or 10 minutes to batter, and it'll thicken up. And so a lot of times if I make it normal, the way it's supposed to be, it'll thicken up before I'm even part way through. And I may add I don't know, not even a cup, maybe definitely not a cup, more like, a couple tablespoons of milk into the mixture and stir it up. And sometimes just stirring it up breaks it down enough that it flows. You just want a smooth flow, so it's easier to pour. If it's lumping out and you're trying to do some detailed work. And sorry for my shakiness here. Oops, sorry about that. I'm holding this because I left all my stuff down in the shop. All my tripods and equipment. And it's 30-something degrees out, and I don't feel like walking a couple hundred feet down to the shop to get a tripod. So anyway, get back to where I was. So you get what you're doing is you're going to make your shapes. What I do is I picture the size of my plate. I know it's bigger than this, but size of my plate, and I make the pancake so it'll fit in that size of the plate. And then the girls just eat one pancake, but it's a big pancake, the size of the plate. You can make multiple pancakes, but since they're individual, like I do a horse head or a, oops, sorry, I gotta drop that arm down. So I do a horse head, or I do a, whether I do a heart or a face or a dinosaur, or different dinosaurs, a triceratops. I think in this one I did a Stegosaurus. Kind of, it's, they're not perfect things, but if you don't want to do like a spider and have a body this big with real long thin legs, because you go to eat it, you're eating like a pancake that if you put it all together would be about this big, and you don't want that. So if you're gonna do a spider, best thing to do is make a small spider in the legs and let it cook a while, and then circle the whole thing. Just pour the whole thing up real fast, and it'll be you flip it over, and it's more like a round pancake with a spider in the middle of it. And then they got something to eat. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I do it in sections. I did a heart. I think I did a Stegosaurus in this. I did a swirl, and I do a lot of those. And the fun thing about those is when you let it cook a while, and then you fill it in. You'll see it in the video. I kind of pull it apart. As they're eating it, they can actually pull it apart. It's like a cinnamon roll. You can actually start unraveling. Sometimes they'll unravel good, sometimes it won't, but it's close. And the kids kind of play with it and pull them apart. And, but I just made a few this time. If you want me to do some more of these, just, let me know if you like this kind of thing or not. I know it's not anything to do with forging or welding or knife work or restoration or anything, but just, something I do. That's why I call it Forging On, Gary Brown Forging On. I didn't call it forging, or my shop name is Hillside View Forge. I don't call it that because I may want to do something with, an Arduino, or like just forging onto new territory. I'm forging into new territory. Besides forging, that's what I really want to do, is a lot of blacksmithing. But my shoulder hurt. I'm just kind of coming up with other things, but this is good for kids. And if you have any questions on certain things, let me know. And the big thing is you pour a piece, let it sit, then pour another piece. You can let that sit, pour another piece, and all those will show lines in there. So you're drawing the lines. So that's why you want your pan to not be coated in oil and butter and all that, because that adds all this extra lines to it. That's what you do. I pour one pancake to absorb any oil, but like my pans are fairly new, so I don't have to put any oil. I get them up to temperature, just a little below medium, and then I wait till, and then I start mixing everything. By the time I get done mixing, it's already heated up, and then it won't stick. If I put it in there while it's cold and then let it heat up, it seems to stick a lot worse, and it won't brown right and all that stuff. So those are some of the things, and if I think of stuff, I might do another video and try to add to it, and hopefully this isn't too shaky and too bad, and I'll try to do a better one next time. But anyway, hope you enjoy them. Make some good pancakes for your kids and grandkids or whatever, and maybe put in the comments or let me know how it turned out. If you got questions or have problems, even if you mess them up, that's what I tell my girls. And I say, if you mess them up, it's no big. It's still a pancake. Even if it looks like a globby mess. When I mess one up really bad and they say, what is it? I say, it's Picasso, So it's abstract art, whatever. It don't matter. So hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye. bye.